Damn, I really gotta drive. Well, you know what they say, when there's a will, there's a way. Except I have no will, so I guess there's no way.
Welcome back to the bitch that can't drive who's making this sound, because I honestly don't even know why. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video.
Finally not in the car, for once. Couldn't sleep, my mind was racing. The usual. So, what did I decide to do? Go on a walk. Oh, you can't even see me. Also, don't do stupid shit like this. Okay, it's really late. I already had like some weird ass fucking interaction with something. I'm just walking along and this car stops midway and stays there till I like cross the street. Oh my god. Don't do crazy shit like this. Ever. I'm fine. Thankfully. I'm just over here thinking I'm fucking invincible. Which I'm not, but yeah. Was not able to sleep at all. My mind kept racing. Just a constant cycle. Per usual. But typically it's supposed to slow down at night. Not tonight. So what did I decide to do? The most logical thing to do at like 4 in the morning? Go on a walk. Isn't it crazy how when you're a kid, like the movies you see, you don't understand what they're about at all. And then as you get older, it's like you finally start to realize what it's about. Like, one of my favorite movies was Spirit. And for the longest time when I was a kid, when I first watched it, I just thought it was about a horse. The life of a horse. I heard the words, didn't understand them, didn't care for them. Pretty pictures, that's it. Nothing crossed my mind besides that. Later on though, as I got like a little older and I was able to actually understand the words, I watched it again. And I was able to understand the words more and like know like the general concept of what was going on. But still, all I really understood was, oh, it's still a horse talking about its life. And that was like one of my favorite movies. So it's, you know, I was constantly playing it. And even then, I still didn't get the gist of it. Until like when I watched it, when I was, I guess my brain was a little more developed and was able to understand like the meaning behind certain things. I was able to understand that that movie was not just about a horse talking about its life. It wasn't, oh my gosh, I look so weird. It was narrating a situation that actually happened in real life. A very important part of history, actually. So it's like, wow. It's crazy looking back at the movies that you watched as a kid now with the more developed mind and knowing what they're actually talking about and actually understanding the words and the meanings behind it. You know, part of me kind of wishes I joined the internet sooner than what I did, but then another part of me is like glad that I didn't, because I know I would have done some like really crazy shit, some stupid shit when I was younger. So there's that, I guess. Honestly though, it's like, well, yes, I do sometimes have that regret. It's also not just because of that. Honestly, the main reason as to why I didn't even join the internet wasn't because like of the dumb things I would have done, but mainly because I was just so afraid of the opinions of other people. And it's like, bro, I wasted a good chunk of my life worrying about what other people think of me. And it's like, bruh, that really doesn't matter. Like, obviously it's easier said than done, but it's not as important as people think. I still struggle with it right now, but eventually, hopefully, I'll get over it. Right now, honestly, this is the main reason as to why I'm making this channel and whatnot, because I'm tired of constantly holding back on things that I've wanted to do just because of what others would think of me. I still do kind of care of what other people think, but it's not as overpowering as it used to be. So at some point, I guess you just really grow out of it. And the main reason why I'm saying this is because, like, I recently, found out that after all the years of, like, people pleasing and trying to get people to think that I'm not a bad person, trying to get on people's good side, it completely was pointless, because turns out they think the worst, the absolute worst of me. And I guess that really goes to show how it really doesn't matter. People are gonna have opinions on you all the time, whether they're good or bad or, like, mediocre, I guess. It legitimately does not even matter at all. I was trying so hard to make these people think that I'm, like, a nice person and all that stuff, but they think the complete opposite. I've been respectful to them, and maybe I did come off as, like, rude or something, but it was never my intention. I always try my best to, like, be as polite as I possibly can. But I guess that just really doesn't matter. And it's funny too, because the people that think the absolute worst of me, they're actually, like, horrible people in real life. So again, it really doesn't matter what kind of opinions other people have about you. They are one of the worst people that I've ever met, and yet they're talking shit about me behind my back, to my face, and they always have something to say, but whenever you say something to them, it's immediately, oh, like, poor me, and yeah, I'm just saying, it really doesn't matter what people think. At this point, I'm tired of it. I don't really care. I still do care. I can't say I don't. It's hard for me to just completely not care. I'll eventually, hopefully, overcome that, but right now it's, little by little, baby steps, I guess. And that is honestly the main reason I started this channel, because I care a little less of what people think of me. And the amount of opportunities I've missed just because I was so worried of what others had to say is crazy, because I could have done some great things, but that stopped me completely. Just the fact of having people's judgment on me was quite literally the, I guess, stop to my success, or whatever the fudge they call it. But yeah, that's it. So my advice, stop caring. Obviously it'll take some time. I'm still not fully over it, but people are always gonna have opinions about you. You can't stop that. That's never gonna change ever. And you can't always just expect someone to like you. Even if you're the nicest person ever, it doesn't matter. And that's essentially it, I guess. Another thing is that you really have to be careful with who you share things with. Oversharing is something that I don't do, actually. I think I'm lucky enough, unlucky, whatever way you want to see it, that I consider it lucky. I think I was lucky enough to learn that from a very young age, of who you can and cannot trust with things. So anything I share with anyone ever, either in person or online, I share because I fully accept what I'm about to share. It would have absolutely no effect on me whatsoever, so people won't be able to use that against me. Because typically people overshare, and then they overshare with the wrong people, and eventually once that, like, friendship or whatever kind of relationship dies out, they are put into a really bad position. And yeah, so that's something you also have to learn. Don't share everything with everybody, ever. Only if you really feel like you can trust them. While that is like the main reason as to why I decided to do this channel, it also has to do with the fact that I need to drive. Okay, like, okay, don't get me wrong, I know how to drive, I just don't have the courage to do it. And because I don't have the courage, I also lack the experience, meaning the lack of experience will eventually lead to no experience at all. So I really need it. So this is a little bit of an encouragement for me to drive, for one, and stop caring about what other people have to say. It's as simple as that. Sounds simple, isn't very simple. For both, actually. I just need to find the courage for that. But yeah, that's essentially it. And even then, people that you meet like for literally on that same exact day and you've only known each other for like a few minutes, they also have quite a few opinions about you. People make opinions about you immediately, like even just by looking at you. You don't have to say a single word. They just look at you and immediately their mind starts having thoughts about you. Even a minute interaction can give them a bad impression about you. Literally, I was at the store, you know, workers come up to you, they're like, oh, is everything all right? Do you need any help? I, thinking I was respectful, was like, no, thank you, you know, because I didn't need help, and I said thank you at the end. I was trying my best to be nice. Apparently, to my friend, that sounded kind of bitchy. Literally, immediately after the worker left, she was like, oh, you kind of sound like a bitch. And I was like, what? I wasn't even trying to. In my head, I thought it was saying it nicely and politely, respectfully, whatever. But to my friend, I wasn't. Which, honestly, I think that was the same impression that the worker had of me, because after that, he like what after that, like he's like throughout the whole time we were in the store, he would constantly come up to us and compliment my friends and completely ignore me, which again, that probably might just be my mind overthinking everything. He probably just didn't have anything to compliment me about. I wasn't wearing anything interesting that day, you know. It kind of seemed as if in that moment he did kind of take it a little personally, and I was disrespectful to him, I guess, which I wasn't trying to be, but he might have thought that, or maybe it's just me overthinking after my friend said that, and me just thinking that maybe I really was a bitch. I don't know. Whatever. Just essentially just stop caring. It's really not that important. People are gonna hate. People are gonna judge, and they're gonna have different opinions about you. And that doesn't matter. That shouldn't affect you in any way. It does, definitely. It takes a toll on you for sure. But try improving and finding ways to not care as much. I feel like the older you get, the more you're like, oh, I don't really care as much anymore. Anyways, though, that's it. The sun is literally coming up. It's sunrise right now. Literally sunrise. Anyways, I think it's time for me to go. Better get going before I catch traffic. The amount of people that are out at 5 in the morning is kind of crazy. The amount of cars that are, oh my gosh. The amount of cars that have passed by is insane. This is honestly nerve-wracking. I can't believe I'm even doing this. I'm out in public where people can see me, and I'm recording. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get going before I catch any traffic. Alright, that's it. Peace out. Gotta bounce.
That's hope you visit again. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do whatever other YouTubers normally tell you to do. Bye!
I was standing in the same place for so long. I really hope no one thinks anything weird. Oh my god, it's crazy. I mean, it's really cold too. I'm freezing. My hands are frozen.